So moving ahead, we have our special guest, Hitesh sir. He has been a great mentor to us since throughout the MakeAthon process. Without his guidance, wouldn't have been that possible for us to get this event this super big and super successful. As we are into this event, I so to give a formal introduction, Hitesh sir is a strategy and finance consulting professional in infrastructure sector. He also has over 10 years industry and management consulting experience. He is an engineer. He did his mechanical engineering from VJTI, and someone like him is a icing on a cake for us because his guidance is something which we engineers will really take uh, very well, because if we want startup or entrepreneurship, then an engineer who is an entrepreneur is an perfect treat for us. So thank you so much, Hitesh sir, for coming and giving us a chance. Over to you, sir. We would love a words of wisdom from you.
Thank you for introduction, and so kind of you. Thank you, Principal Ma'am and Dr. Suryavanshi, for inviting me to this event. Before I say something, I just want to hear from the participants and student community, how many of have joined institute looking at the after you become engineer, that you will look for placement and opportunities in XYZ companies, kind of thing. Or after this event, how do you see that? Would you still like to go for entrepreneurship or job aspiring for the job? Can anyone want to share their view? How many of you are going to look for placements, job?
Hitesh, you've asked a very tricky question. Now, when we are on this platform, not many students would want to commit that they still want to look for a job.
Not an issue. Ma'am has answered you earlier that, okay, I also joined L&T as a trainee or the GET. Then I joined PwC after an MBA. Okay, and at a certain point I decided to venture out. Okay, and ma'am is aware of the journey. So there is no hard feeling. If you think that yes, this is what you want to, you have not decided and you plan to go for placement, etc. Not an issue, but understand if this platform you don't want to share the something. Okay, I see Aishwarya raising hand.
Sir, I believe that to be a leader, first you have to work under a leader. And I have never got this opportunity. So I feel if I know how a company functions and how everything functions, only then I would, want my own company. Before that, if I just open my own thing, so I don't think it will go that successful. So I want to work under leaders and then probably become a leader.
Okay, well noted. Anyone else also wants to share their view?
I would like to say, so before getting in, before setting up a corporate of your own, it's good to have an experience in corporate as well, because then only like we always say, you are wise if you learn from others' mistakes. So it's good to first be a part of some company, to work someone who you role model, and then get into something of your own.
Okay, nice. Anyone wants to share more views?
I feel like in the final year, there are many who aspire to be the entrepreneurs, but it's always that pressure of what will be the end that makes people think to opt for placements. I feel so. Like many fear that.
Okay. See, I share. There are various types of entrepreneurs, and ma'am talk about the stages of those things. I'll just give you example of that. What ma'am talked about. When Facebook was started by Mark Zuckerberg. When was it started?
When he dropped from college, I guess. After that.
He was still in college at that time, right?
Okay.
Okay. When Microsoft was started, he was a dropout from college because he wanted to focus on business. So I'm not saying dropout from your current curriculum, but the thing is, and when Reliance as a group started, Dhirubhai Ambani was working in Turkey as on a petrol station, right, in delivering petrol. He so there is an opportunity. That time, the kind of technology development, etc. That there is a gap, and why should I work, like Ashwaya said, that learn from leaders or something. But he learned from the corporations how they work, not leaders, one how the corporations work and where the opportunities. And then he decided to come and seek the opportunities in India because he saw there is a gap. Whereas a Facebook, Microsoft saw or something different, and they started in the college days itself. So there is various stages of the entrepreneur's life. There is no, like we say, no, there is no age for love. Like there is no age for being an entrepreneur. I started it 2-3 years back at the age of 32, 33, and some people I have seen they're starting in their ages of 55, 56. And I know a person who is going to retire and start his own company now after retirement. Okay. So this I'm saying after gaining some experience, but there is no age. Okay. So let me just give you my perspective and just thought process that you can think about as a food for thought. That first of all, very good morning to all of you. And it is my pleasure to be here for the third round of the competition. Last round was very exciting for me and see the ideas coming from all of you. My regret is that it is not being conducted in a physical setup, but we are happy to be connected virtually in the given circumstances still, and look forward to interact with you when the opportunity arises in a physical setup. And the participants who has reached to third stage, hearty congratulations. And don't be upset if we are not selected in top 3 or whatever with the thing, but you have reached this sets the tone that okay, there is some strong backing or a good idea that you are coming out with, and there is a potential that you can work on that, whatever the lacking areas. So I would also like to commend institute and faculties, especially Dr. Nambiar ma'am and Dr. Suryavanshi sir, for organizing the event in such a virtual manner, given the pandemic situation, and reaching to the third round towards the conclusion. And also a small perspective on why should you look at this forum not only as a competition, but also as a platform to test your ideas, to test your the ability to venture out, okay, as an entrepreneur. And also think about how you should improvise going forward and chart out your trajectory, when you should venture out, why not, is it the right time or not. So you can improvise and create your own entrepreneurial roadmap. See, always believe that something is in brief, a vibrant spirit of is the pulse of every economy. So economies or the nations are not run by government only. The real game changers are the entrepreneurs. So you are enjoying, let's say, or you are sitting in, go to Paris or any location. If you are fond of the Indian food and veg food, you will not find any issue because you will at least get Sarvana Bhavan over there. And you know Sarvana Bhavan. So why I'm quoting this? Like, so it is the entrepreneurial zeal or the business mindset that wherever you go around the world, you will get what you like. Like Sarvana Bhavan, the specialty of South, you will still get in Paris, you will get in Tokyo, you will get in most of the major cities across the world. So that is entrepreneurship zeal. Okay, I'm giving one example of this in a physical setup. There is a technologies that we can also look at how they are being thought about. Like you get TikTok and Moza and so many startups coming up. So what is the essence of economy is that it is run by entrepreneurs and enterprises actually. And Government of India supporting entrepreneurial spirit, that is commendable and admirable through missions like Startup India Mission or Seed Fund Program, etc. And our belief is that individual like you and the corporates and not the government should run the engines of economic growth and activities. So I would like to see that in future the contestant from this event dare take risk to venture out and seize the opportunities available to them as an entrepreneur. And but always remember why Pradeep sir mentioned that why many startups fail also. Okay, so always work on those three areas. Like most startups fail because of three things: inability to raise funds, because fund is always a constraint as a resource constraint for most of the startups. The solution that you are coming out with is not in line with what market needs or market can accept. Okay, that is the second most important. The third is the co-founders, the disagreement between co-founders. That is another reason where most startups fail also or get split up. So these three things, if you work on and improvise and test your products offerings, whether it is in line with market, whether it is working on a testing with the investors buying out that ideas or not. Those are the key things that you will have to test your idea, what you are going to propose. So remember that entrepreneurship is not just about developing a great looking presentation or the business plan. It is having to withstand intense competition, not today's competition, I'm saying, from the mindset, whether the investors' money will be tested on this idea or not. Okay, whether they will buy this idea or not. Okay, whether the market taste will accept this product or services that we are going to come out with. And dynamically changing competitive landscape. So like this virtual pandemic events, like in a pandemic situation, someone was telling me that Tata Sky has leased out 4-story building in Santa Cruz. They have emptied 3 stories now because they want their employees to work from home and they only retain one. So this offline work, online working has become, or work from home has become a competition to real estate market. So you don't know what is your competition will be like. So whether your product, your business model is coming out on the taste of competitive landscape, which is changing dynamically day by day. And I would wish that you should at least spend 2 years running your own venture before leaving or leaving any hope. And you will, I assure you that you will learn much more than what you have been taught at engineering. And if you are aspiring to do MBA, combined, you will learn much more than what the experience will teach you. And I can see from the last round that many of the ideas presented has a potential to create a good ventures out of it if pursued in a right manner and with full dedication. So remember that one last thing, that joy of creating employment and something which is valuable is much more than seeking a job in MNCs or any other companies. So on a concluding note, I would like to see the next stage of development in your ideas today from the last round. And in future, I would be very happy if few of you dare to venture out, and would be happy to support you wherever required. Also, I hope that Institute will continue to conduct this event and increase the scale of competitiveness going forward with more ideas to be open, and also introduce a structured program. And I believe that Ma'am mentioned to me that there is a program that they have initiated, development engineering and other initiatives, and the incubation is in the program. So I believe there is a structured program which will be introduced in the Institute, which will identify potential entrepreneurs and nurture them during their 4 years journey with the Institute. With this wish, I would wish all the participants best luck, and thank you for the opportunity, for inviting.
Thank you so much, Hitesh, sir. It was wonderful hearing you. Thank you so much. So Pradeep sir, should we start with the presentations?